baseball. I'm Jim Swinford coming to you from the hilltop at Mack Whitaker Field, where this afternoon the Breds will be taking on the Mustangs of Bishop Brossart. Harrison County coming off that tough loss yesterday over at Campbell County 6-4. Meanwhile, Bishop Brossart in their most recent game won yesterday, knocking off Covington Holy Cross 9-5. Great day for baseball here on the hilltop. Not near as much wind as what we had yesterday up at Claryville, and that's a good thing. While we have a chance, let's take it back to the station real quick let's take that back. We'll keep it here as we're about to have the national anthem, so we'll take a listen to that, after which we'll have Bruce Templeton from Unity Christian Church say his pregame prayer, and then we'll come back for the first pitch of today's game between the Mustangs and the Thoroughbreds. But right now, our Star Spangled Banner.
Elijah Harris, the catcher. At this time, would you please stand for the playing of our national anthem?
Oh. Up Harrison County and Bishop Brossart about to take each other on. Let's take a look now at the starting batting order for the Mustangs, who come in with a record of 10-8, coached by Ron Verst, who's in his 12th year as the head man there in Alexandria. Leading off will be their shortstop, Logan Meyer. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Robbie Verst. Batting third, the center fielder, Evan Moore. Cleaning up today for Bishop Brossart will be their catcher, Colin Combs. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Brandon Beazold. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Keegan Gully. The seventh spot is occupied by the left fielder, Sam Willicke. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Brandon Burkhart. And rounding out the batting order today for Bishop Brossart will be their second baseman, Derek Martin. So once again for the Mustangs, Meyer, Verst, Moore, Combs, Beazold, Gully, Willicke, Burkhart, and Martin. Defensively for the Thoroughbreds, Brian Vaughn is behind the plate with J.D. Kendall at first and Cliffy McIlvain at second. Mason Smiley's over at third with Elijah Harris at short. And left to right in the outfield, Malachi Feeback, Jay Sean Lewis, and Cameron White, all backing up the pitching of Braden Fields. We'll look at Fields' numbers after this first delivery to Meyer is going to be ticking on the outside part of the plate. Fields pitching for the first time since he threw against Pine Forest down in Florida a couple of weeks ago. Looks in to get the sign from Brian Vaughn. Wheels and fires the next pitch, which is going to be a little bit outside for a ball. Braden making his third appearance, his first start. He's thrown 3 innings this year, has not given up a hit, and just 1 walk while striking out 4, and has a 0.00 earned run average. This next pitch floats in there, but just a little bit inside for ball 2. Meyer awaits the next pitch as Fields winds and fires, and it's going to be fouled off over the first base dugout for strike 2. Meyer on the year batting .298. That's 14 out of 47. Has 5 doubles. He's also driven in 4 and scored 12 runs. Co-leader on the team in steals with 2. His next pitch is inside, loading up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. These two teams got together back on March the 20th with Harrison County winning in Alexandria in exciting fashion, 7-4. Here's a shot to left, going back, feedback, and this ball is going to be out of here. Team leading 3rd home run of the season for Logan Meyer puts his Mustangs up 1-0. Now it ended up being about a third of the way up the bank. So a pretty good shot that time by Meyer on a 3-2 pitch, no less, as the Mustangs take the early 1-0 lead. Well, when we played them the first time, the score was tied at 4-4 going into the 7th, and then in the top of the 7th, Cameron White delivered a run-scoring single that broke the tie, and then Jacob Craycraft had a 2-run single that gave us a little insurance on our way to that 7-4 win. Standing in there now, the left-handed batting first baseman, Robbie Verst. The wind and the first pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Verst on the year, batting a team-high .442. Leads the team in hits with 23, has 5 doubles, and also has scored a team-leading 19 runs as the next pitch is fouled off. Count goes to 0-2. This will be the final game for the Thoroughbreds before heading down to Owensboro this weekend for the Class 2A state tournament. The 0-2 pitch is bounced foul to the right side. So count remains 0-2. The Breds will be taking on the Blue Tornado of Paducah Tillman. Tillman ranked 16th in the poll this week. They are the 2-time defending Class 2A champions. Here's a pop-up into left field. Feedback has a beat on it and will make the grab for out number 1. They'll bring Evan Moore, the center fielder, to the plate.
Now batting number 17, Evan Moore.
Bishop Brossart in their road gray uniforms with Brossart in block letters across the front. Meanwhile, Harrison County in their yellow tops with the cutout sleeves with the pinstripe red color and their grayish baseball pants. Harrison County goes in script across the front of those jerseys. First pitch is taken outside for strike 1, excuse me. Evan Moore batting .422, that's second best on the team. Leads the team in doubles with 7, in home runs with 5, which is tied for 6th most in the state, and also leads the team with 20 RBIs. Bounces one this time over the outstretched glove of Cliffy McIlvain. That ball hit the lip of the infield grass and bounced a good couple of feet over McIlvain, who I'm sure was at the top of his jump. So just an opportune single for Evan Moore gets him aboard. For the cleanup batter, Colin Combs. Combs on the season, batting .333 on 17 out of 51. 5 doubles, a couple of home runs. He's also driven in 14. Over at first base, Moore being held on by Kendall. Moore with just a couple of steals this year, but that's best on the team. Throw to first base, not in time. Now talking about the Breds and the Blue Tornado, they'll play at 2 o'clock Cynthiana time on Friday. Hopefully win that quarterfinal round game and move to the semifinals on Saturday. Next pitch is high and inside. The ball and no strikes, the count to Combs. About a 2-step lead at first base by Moore. 1-0, we're in the top of the first. Bishop Brossart ahead as the next pitch is bounced up there. Making the count 2 balls and no strikes on the cleanup batter, Combs. Combs, a senior. one of 7 seniors on this year's Bishop Brossart baseball team. Throw to first base, not in time. Wind blowing out towards center field, but not near like what we saw yesterday, where hurricane gusts were flying through Claryville. Next pitch is going to be fouled off of the press box, running the count to 2-1. Breds falling in that game 6-4. Fell down 6-0 early, then made up a couple of runs in the 5th and a couple of runs in the 7th, and had the bases loaded when the last out was made. Glance over to first base by Fields. And the 2-1 is popped up in behind us. The count will go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, I got back to my car, I thought for sure the temperature gauge would say something like 30, 56. But when you got 30-mile-an-hour winds, it makes it feel a lot colder. Check the runner by Fields once again. And the break even is a bouncer to the left side. Harris, his only play will be to first as the hit and run was on. He'll retire Combs for the second out of the inning. However, Moore will move on over to second base.
Now batting, number 10, Brandon Beazold.
Brandon Beazold at the plate now. Beazold, the third baseman. Batting .352. Has a double and 9 RBIs this season. Where's the number 10? You may remember him from basketball. Averaged 11.5 points for the Mustangs. Part of a long, long line of Beazolds that have played sports for Bishop Brossart. 0-1 the count on the newest addition, Brandon. Since he's a senior, they'll have to go out and find him another Beazold. That's all there is to it. I'll get Dave Schabel on that next time I see him. A look back at second base by Fields, and the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Out in left field, feedback playing near the edge of the bank for the 5th place batter in the order. And the 0-2 pitch is sent down the left field line, but it's going to curve foul. So the count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. I think the weather's supposed to be decent in Owensboro this weekend. Choking up on the bat handle about 1.5 inches is Beazold with an 0-2 count on him. Down at second base, Moore takes his lead as the next pitch is up high for a ball. There will be 4 games altogether in the first round of that tournament this coming weekend. Starting off with Adair County taking on Warren East. The Indians and the Raiders. 1-2 is a short hopper to Harris. Fires to first base to retire Beazold for the 3rd out. But a run comes in the inning on the solo homer, leading off the game by Logan Meyer. That was one of 2 base hits. There were no errors and 1 left. As we head now to the bottom of the first, your score, Bishop Brossart 1 and Harrison County coming to bat. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.
Investments can behave differently.
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County will try to make up that run that they gave up in the top half of the inning and more. Leading off will be the shortstop, Elijah Harris. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Cliffy McIlvain. Batting third, the designated hitter today for Harrison County, Corey Vaughn, who's batting for Braden Fields, who's on the mound. cleanup batter will be the right fielder, Cameron White. He'll be followed by the catcher, Brian Vaughn, batting sixth, the third baseman, Mason Smiley. The seventh place batter, left fielder, Malachi Feeback. He'll be followed by the first baseman, J.D. Kendall. And rounding out the batting order today for Harrison will be the center fielder, Jay Sean Lewis. So once again for the Breds, Harris, McIlvain, Corey Vaughn, White, Brian Vaughn, Smiley, Feeback, Kendall, and Lewis. Defensively for the Mustangs, Colin Combs is behind the plate with Robbie Verst at first and Derek Barton at second. Brandon Beazold patrols third base with Logan Meyer at short. Sam Willicke's out in left field. Evan Moore's the center fielder with Keegan Gully in right. All backing up the pitching of Brandon Burkhart. Harris stands in as the first delivery is made from Burkhart to the plate for ball one. Burkhart making his 7th appearance of the season. This is his 6th start. He's thrown 21 innings, given up 23 hits and 14 walks while striking out 15. Next pitch is cued off the end of the bat foul. He's given up 13 runs, 12 of which have been earned. Comes in with a record of 3-3 and an ERA of 4.00. Harris stands in with a 1-1 count on him, leading things off here in the bottom of the first. The wind by the righty, and the pitch is going to be in the dirt for ball two. Harris on the season, now batting .404, leads the team in on-base percentage at .553, mainly due to 18 walks, which is most on the team. 6 doubles, a homer, and 8 RBIs. Here's a bouncer to short, gloved by Meyer. His throw to first base will be in time to retire Harris for the first out of the inning. Cliffy McIlvain, the second baseman, will now come to the plate. His team trailing 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Now batting number 25, Cliffy McIlvain.
McIlvain batting .356 on 16 out of 45. The first delivery to him is going to be taken outside for ball one. McIlvain with a couple of doubles and 7 RBIs. He has scored 17 runs, though, which is second most on the team. Next pitch, low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes now the count to the Breds' second baseman.
I think I got it, kind of.
Yeah, maybe a dozen fans have made their way down 27 from Alexandria to watch their Mustangs today. Here's a shot into left center field for a base hit. Cutting the ball off the left fielder, Willicke, with a solid single for McIlvain. Puts a runner aboard for the Breds here in the bottom of the first inning. For the designated hitter, Corey Vaughn. On batting for Braden Fields, who's on the mound.
Now batting number 44, Corey Vaughn.
Over the last 6 games, Corey has been on fire, going 11 for his last 15. And 5 of those 6 games, he's had multiple hits. First pitch is a bouncer, fair down the third base and now left field line. Stopping at second base will be Harris, but a solid single keeps the stretch alive of great hitting by Corey Vaughn and puts runners on first and second for the cleanup batter and right fielder, Cameron White. Cameron nursing a bit of an injury, took yesterday off to give it some rest.
Now batting number 16, Cameron White.
Stands back in there now. Runners take their leads. Harris McIlvain at second, Corey Vaughn at first. So the first pitch is down low for ball one. Cameron on the season, now batting .362. 5 doubles, a triple, a homer, and a team leading 23 RBIs. Look back to second base by the pitcher, and a liner up the middle for a base hit. Harris will be held up at third, but the bases are loaded with thoroughbreds with 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. 3 solid singles by the Breds, and Brian Vaughn coming to the plate.
Now batting number 32, Brian Vaughn.
Brian has raised his average to .357. Has a double, a homer, and 11 RBIs. Vaughn this season is 1 for 1 with the bases loaded. First pitch is a tapper back to the mound. Coming home with the ball will be Burkhart. Combs then throws to first base for the inning-ending 1-2-3 double play. So as we head now to the top half of the second, your score: Bishop Brossart 1 and Harrison County nothing. Your You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.
Is your tractor getting up there?
Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County down 1-0 in the top of the second. Bishop Brossart will be sending Keegan Gully, Sam Willicke, and Brandon Burkhart to the plate against Braden Fields, the starter for Harrison County in his second inning of work.
Now batting number 16, Keegan Goley.
Gully, the right fielder, on the year batting .342. 13 out of 38, a couple of doubles, 5 RBIs, and 4 runs scored for him. Gully, a sophomore, stands in and awaits the first delivery to him from Fields. Left fielder feedback playing him way back. First pitch is going to be tapped into the glove of Brian Vaughn, for strike one. Gully wears the number 16 on the back of that jersey, as Jay Sean Lewis moves into right center. Next pitch is taken for a strike, so Gully quickly in the hole 0-2. Another great day of baseball, and we've had a bunch of them this year. Next pitch is up high as the count goes to 1-2 to leadoff batter for Bishop Brossart here in the top of the second. Here in the 32nd meeting between the Breds and the Mustangs, Harrison County holds a 25-6 edge in the series. Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike three. Our first Canuck Law strikeout of the day will bring Sam Willicke to the plate.
Now batting number 14, Sam Willicke.
Willicke, a wide receiver on the Bishop Brossart football team. Also a linebacker who picked up 35 tackles and 2 interceptions this year. First pitch is delivered up the middle for a base hit. It's a hit in any league. So one on and one out for the pitcher, Brandon Burkhart.
Now batting number 20, Brandon Burkhart.
Burkhart has not been to the plate very often this year, just 1 for 5. He does have a run scored and an RBI. A look over to first base. And here's a dribbler to the right side, foul. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of this state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau today at 234-4514 and ask for Dustin or Amy. Over at third base, Smiley sneaking in on the infield grass as a throw to first base is not in time. Burkhart listed at 6'2". As some of his teammates have already done, chokes up on the bat handle, about an inch. It's another throw to first base is not in time. Field in excellent condition. Next pitch is up high, evening things up at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 on, 1 out for Bishop Brossart here in the top of the second. They lead 1-0. Getting the sign from the dugout, Brian Vaughn, flashing it on to his battery mate on the mound. And the 1-1 pitch is hit hard but foul and out of play. Runs the count to 1-2. We're talking about the 2A championship, the state tournament, along with Adair County and Warren East playing each other. Number 13, DeSales, will take on Lawrence County. That'll be followed. Well, not followed, actually. They play a 7 o'clock at night game. Here's a throw down to second in time to gun down Willicke, trying to get the steal. Nice throw that time by Brian Vaughn. So now 2 outs in the inning, and an even up count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Burkhart. The other first round game will pit Greenup County and Whitley County in the first round of the Class 2A championships. Fields winds and fires the break even on the outside corner for strike 3. Another Knuplau strikeout for Braden Fields. No runs, a hit, no errors, but as it ends up, nobody was left on base. As we head now to the bottom of the second, your score, Bishop Brossart 1 and Harrison County nothing. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County will be sending 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. Mason Smiley, Malachi Feeback, and J.D. Kendall against Brandon Burkhart. Well, congratulations to the Harrison County High School archery team, state champs. We just keep racking up the trophies around this area. So congratulations to our archers who are competitive every single year, but this time taking home the big trophy, the state championship. Have to get some of those guys and gals on Let's Talk Sports here in the next couple weeks. Smiley playing over at third base, as he 99% of the time does, leading off the second inning.
Now batting number 36, Mason Smiley.
Smiley batting .365 on the year on 19 of 52. 6 doubles, a homer. He's also driven in 15. Here's a bouncer foul to the left side for strike 1. Knuplau understands that your situation is more than just a lawsuit or legal problem. It's your life. Visit knuplau.com to find out how Brian can help you out. Burkhart gets the sign from Combs. Now steps off the back of the rubber as Smiley calls time. Good crowd on hand for today's game. Enjoying the sunshine and the nice good weather. Next pitch is in the dirt. This count goes even at 1-1. Breds down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second in game number 2 of the series this year. Harrison County beat Bishop Brossart in Alexandria back on March the 20th by a score of 7-4. The wind and the 1-1 to the plate is going to stay up high for ball 2. Smiley has reached base in 8 consecutive ball games. The wind and the 2-1 pitch is popped up to the right side, calling for it. Robbie Verse, the first baseman, and he'll bring it in for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down in the home second. Brings Malachi Feeback, the left fielder, to the plate. Feeback wears the number 24.
Now batting number 24, Malachi Feeback.
Outfield playing back. As the first pitch is delivered and fouled to the near side of the third base dugout for strike 1. Feeback on the season, batting just .191. 9 out of 47. Has a double and 3 home runs and 11 RBIs, though. Next pitch is fouled off to the opposite side. He's quickly in the hole 0-2. Be back with 14 walks this season. That's second best on the team, leading to a .240 on base percentage. Next pitch is going to bounce up there for a ball. This count goes to 1-2. Feedback stands back in, trying to get a rally started here in the bottom of the second with one out, nobody on. Burkhart wheels and deals the 1-2, and it's going to be a bouncer foul to the left side. So the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. After we get back from Owensboro over the weekend, going to have a tough time of it as we'll take on Lexington Catholic. A week from yesterday, Catholic, the number 3 team in the state. Next pitch is going to be taken up high for a ball, evening up the count at 2-2. The wind, and quickly the break even is in the dirt. So the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. On feedback, one of the 6 seniors on this year's club. Once again, the payoff to the plate is a bouncer to third. Beasold has it, fires to first base, and there are now 2 down in the inning. I'll bring J.D. Kendall to the plate. J.D. getting the start at first base today after starting the prior 3 games at second base.
Now batting number 10, J.D. Kendall.
Kendall on the season, batting .250 on 10 out of 40, has a double and 7 RBIs as the first pitch is down low for ball 1. Burkhart has set down the last 4 thoroughbreds in a row, preserving his team's present 1-0 lead. Next pitch is a chopper to the third base side. Burkhart picks it up. His throw to first base will not be in time as Kendall is able to get to first base before the throw gets there. So the inning stays alive for Jay-Sean Lewis. Infield single for J.D.
Now batting number 3, Jay-Sean Lewis.
Lewis batting .333 on the year on 19 out of 57. Tied for the team lead in doubles with 7. Has a team leading 2 triples and 11 RBIs. First pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1. The Breds as a team in the top 10 in several offensive categories across the state. They're tied for 6th in hits with 176. 9th in the state in RBIs with 136 as the next pitch is down low. The Breds also have 38 doubles, which is tied for 7th in the state. And our 10 home runs are tied for 5th best. So lots of offensive good numbers. We just got to put them together in the right order. Next pitch to Jay-Sean is outside. 2-1 the count. Over at first base, Kendall being held on by Robbie Verst. J.D. yet to steal a base this season. And the pitch is going to be on the outside part of the plate for strike 2, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lewis, a sophomore, wheels the bat around. Check of the runner by Burkhart, and the break-even pitch is slapped past the shortstop and into center field for a base hit. So the inning stays alive as we go back to the top of the order, and Elijah Harris. Harris, a ground ball out to shortstop when he came to bat before. Went 0 for 3 with a walk when these 2 teams played the first time.
Now batting number 33, Elijah Harris.
So 0 for 4 officially against Brossart pitching this season. Time to get a base hit. First pitch to him here is going to be taken for a strike. 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the second. Harris crowding the plate just a little bit. And the 0-1 is slapped foul. To the right side, McElvain just in time, getting out of the way of that shot. This count goes to 0-2. On the field below us, the Phillies, here in about 20 minutes, will be taking on Scott County. Big rivalry game. 0-2 pitch is a fly ball into center field. Moore going back, still going back, still going back, and this ball is going to be off the fence on a hop. Scoring easily will be Kendall. Lewis is going to be sent home. The throw to the plate will not be in time, as the catcher, Colin Combs, had to climb the ladder to pull that ball in, and he went up so high that Lewis was able to slide underneath him, as Harrison County has turned a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead. Good hit by Harris. That'll bring McElvain to the plate. Coach Whitaker coming down to say something to the home plate umpire. Not sure what this is all about. 2 RBIs for Harris on the play. He now has 10 altogether.
Now batting number 25, Quincy McElvain.
McElvain singled his first time up, but then was erased as the front half of a 1-2-3 double play that ended the inning. Harris with that double, his 7th of the season. That ties him for team high. Now McElvain will try to get Harris home. McElvain 2 for 4 this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. The first pitch, though, is going to be a wild one. It gets past Combs, allowing Harris to move on down to third base. Ball 1, the count to McElvain. So a third run for the Breds, now just 90 feet away. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans that handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more about it. From the stretch, Burkhart, a look at third. And the pitch is going to hit McElvain on the back of the shoulder. McElvain hit by a pitch for the 3rd time this season, puts runners on the corners for Corey Vaughn. Corey singling his first time up, as he is now 12 for his last 16. It's a 750 clip.
Now batting number 44, Corey Vaughn.
Corey also reached base for the 11th consecutive game. Altogether batting a team high 467. 7 doubles, which is tied for the most on the team. A triple, a couple of homers, 22 RBIs. That's 2nd most on the team. Corey just doing everything well right now. First pitch to him is going to be low for a ball. Over at first base, first, holding McElvain on. But oddly, when these two teams got together the first time, Corey went 0 for 4. Baseball can be a curious game sometimes. Next pitch is outside. Now going down to second base without a throw will be McElvain. So 2 runners in scoring position now for the Breds. McElvain picking up his 9th steal of the season. Now Coach Verst heading to the mound to talk to his battery and his infield. Want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with runners on second and third and 2 men out. Along with playing Scott County tonight, the Phillies will be in action on Thursday as well down at Nicholasville, where they'll take on West Jessamine. That game will start at 6. That also will be on our app, 101.3 WCYN2, where Ed Lewis will have all the action for you. Vaughn levels the bat at the plate. 2-0 the count on him. And the pitch is going to be popped up foul and out of play to the left side. Corey steps back in there, trying to drive home another couple of runs. 2 runs already in the inning on the 2-run double by Harris. 2-1 here is hit high and hard, but foul and out of play to the left side. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Concession stand is open. Go over there and support your Breds boosters. A look at the runners by Burkhart, and the break-even pitch is outside for ball 3. So a full count to Corey Vaughn. Junior levels the bat. Base hit should score 2. Payoff pitch is stroked into center and will drop in front of the center fielder Moore. Rounding third, but being stopped will be McIlvain as the throw comes home. And as the throw comes home, alert base running by Corey Vaughn takes him down to second base. The Breds, with 3 runs in the inning, have taken a 3-1 lead. All right, Corey. So we'll give him a single
Now
officially.
batting number 16, Cameron White.
Second base on the throw home. It's Cameron White at the plate. White singled his first time up. First pitch is taken for strike 1. Cameron tops on the team in clutch situations. Runners in scoring position at 2 outs. 7 out of 15. Next pitch is a bouncer past the diving third baseman into left. 1 run scores. Rounding third, heading for home. Here comes Corey Vaughn. There will not be a throw. 2 out, 2-run single by Cameron White has put Harrison County up by a score of 5-1 with their 5th run of the inning. For White, he collects his team-leading 24th and 25th RBIs.
Now batting number 32, Brian Vaughn.
Brian Vaughn to the plate now. Brian bounced into a 1-2-3 double play his first time up. First pitch here is going to be bounced up and past the catcher Combs, allowing White to move on down to second base on that wild pitch. Breds have had 6 consecutive batters get on base after the first 2 batters in the inning were retired. Next pitch is a bouncer foul to the left side. This count evens up at 1-1 on Brian Vaughn. Brian played defensively behind the plate when these 2 teams got together before, but did not bat. Right now enjoying a 6-game hitting streak. Like to make it number 7 here. Next pitch is another wild one off the hands of Burkhart. The count goes 2-1 on Brian Vaughn. Down to third base goes White. 5 runs already in the inning for Harrison County. They've done it by 5 base hits. 4 of them singles. Burkhart's 2-1 is up high. 3 balls and a strike now. The count to the Breds backstop. Stretched by Burkhart. A look over to third base, and the pitch is popped up to the right side. Chasing after it, Colin Combs, and he will make the grab for out number 3. But Harrison County comes up with 5 runs in the inning. As we said, they did it by getting 5 base hits. There were no errors, and 1 man was left aboard. So as we head now to the top of the third, your score, Harrison County 5 and Bishop Brossart 1. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.
The real estate market can be tricky to maneuver. That's why it's always good to have someone that's experienced a lot. And Doug Hampton with Palmer Hampton Realty has that experience. 49 years in the business. Doug knows how to help you with buying or selling commercial, residential, or farmland. Visit palmerhampton.com to learn more or visit them at 101 East Pike Street. Phone number to call, 859-588-7120. Palmer Hampton Realty.
Friends Dan Tackett and Cynthiana Tire have been serving the auto needs of Cynthiana and the surrounding area since 1977. He likely knows you, your car, and the right questions to ask to match brand and tread type to safely meet your motoring needs. And being an authorized dealer for Goodyear, Firestone, Bridgestone, and Michelin, assure a wide selection of tires to choose from. 1024 New Lair Road at the old RECC farm is their location.
Okay, back in 5 seconds.
344-4371, their telephone number. Stop by or give Dan a call today.
Alrighty, Harrison County with 5 runs in the bottom half of the second inning have taken a 5-1 lead over the Mustangs. Here in the top of the third, Derek Martin Logan Meyer and Robbie Verst will be coming to the plate against Braden Fields, who returns to the mound for his third inning of work. First pitch is going to be fouled out of play to the right side for strike one. Martin on the season batting .255 on 12 of 47. Has a double and 5 RBIs and has scored 8 runs. Next pitch to the second baseman is taken for strike 2. 0-2 the count to number 4. Lewis playing the batter to go the opposite way as the next pitch is delivered up high. The only run so far for Bishop Brossart, a solo shot by Logan Meyer starting out the game. And it was a shot, went about halfway up the bank. The wind and the next pitch is going to stay high again, running the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Breds coming in with a record of 14-6, while Bishop Brossart is 10-8. Break-even pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another Knuplau strikeout delivered by Braden Fields. That makes 3 of them on the day. And we'll take us back to the top of the order and Logan Meyer.
Now batting number 8, Logan Meyer.
Meyer smashing a Fields pitch over the left field fence. For the only run scored by Brossart so far in the contest. Fields' first pitch to him this time around is down low for a ball. Well, you've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813 as the next pitch is taken for a strike. 1-1 the count on Meyer. Once again, congratulations to the Harrison County archery team, the state champions. Next pitch is outside and high for ball 2. Those kids put in a lot of work for what is a pretty long season, months-wise. Starts back in the football season and just ending now. Next pitch is outside as the count goes to 3-1. Wheeling the bat around is Myers. He waits the 3-1. Here it comes, and it's going to be outside ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Fields in the game. Puts a runner on first with 1 out for Robbie Verst.
Number 12, Robbie Verst.
Verst had a fly ball out to left field when he came to bat before. Talked about the schedule for the Phillies and the Thoroughbreds. The team that's going to be in the best shape at the end of the week is going to be our tennis team, who has 4 matches in the next 5 days. First pitch taken by Verst for strike 1. Today, the tennis team is hosting Clark County. Then on Thursday, Bourbon County comes to town. So the next pitch is down low for a ball 1. On Friday, the tennis team will have another match here on the hilltop against Covington Scott. Then on Saturday, they'll be heading to Northern Kentucky to take on Villa Madonna. Here's a throw to first. It's not in time. So best of luck to our tennis team as they get close to rounding out the regular season. I think after this week they only have 1 more regular season match left. Next pitch to the plate is going to stay a little high as the count goes to 2-1. Robbie Verst, when these two teams got together previously, was 2 for 2 with a double. Check of the runner by Fields, and the pitch is going to be down low again for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Left-handed batter awaits Fields' next pitch after he gets the sign from Brian Vaughn, which is fouled straight back. Loading up the count at 3-2. Sun ducking behind a cloud out to the west. Check of the runner. Pitch to the plate. The payoff is popped up on the right side of the infield. McElvain calls for it at the edge of the infield grass and makes the grab for out number 2. So at 2 down, that runner still at first. The center fielder Evan Moore will come to the plate. Moore a single his first time up. Let's see. Moore was 0 for 3 when we played these guys in Alexandria, basically a month ago. Kendall continues to hold the runner on as Moore smashes a foul ball down the right field line for strike one. Track team is in Lexington today, participating in a track meet at Lafayette High School. So hopefully they'll do well. So the Breds are here, the Phillies are here, the tennis team is here, but the track team's in Lafayette. So a lot of our athletes participating in their sports today. Here's a fly ball, deep center field. Lewis back near the fence. He has room to make the grab about a step in front of the fence at the farthest part of the ballpark. In the inning, no runs, no hits. There were no errors, and one man was left on base. We're heading now to the bottom of the third with your score. Harrison County 5 and Bishop Brossart 1. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop. After sending 9 men to the plate in the second inning, Harrison County will have the same batting order up here in the third. As Mason Smiley, Malachi Feedback, and J.D. Kendall will face off against Brandon Burkhart. So Breds getting ready to head down to Owensboro. Paducah Tillman, the Blue Tornado, will be the opponent at 2 o'clock Cynthiana time. That's 1 o'clock down Owensboro way. That state tournament will be held at Jack Hicks Field, which is at Shifley Park.
Now batting number 36, Mason Smiley.
Smiley a pop up to first when he came to bat before. He was 0 for 5 when these two teams got together before, so 0 for 6 against Bishop Brossart pitching this year as the first pitch is down low for ball one. Smiley looks down to Coach Feeback in the third base coaching box before stepping back in. Vince Harris over in the first base coaching box. Pitch is a chopper foul to the left side. This count goes even at 1-1. Well, do you have a big group to feed? You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Tomato. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235.
Snap.
Thank you, Laura, and your chorus. Next pitch is high and tight. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Smiley enjoying a stretch in which he's reached base in 8 consecutive games. Here's a shot to left center, and he's going to make it 9 consecutive games in which he has reached base. This one bounces to the wall on a couple of hops, and in standing with the double will be Smiley, leading things off here in the third. For Mason, his 7th double of the season, which is tied for the most on the team. Malachi Feeback now to the plate.
Number 24, Malachi Feeback.
Feeback had a ground ball out to third base when he came to bat before. And Burkhart's first pitch to him now is swung on and missed for strike 1. Down at second base, Derek Martin trying to keep Smiley as close as possible to second. As the next pitch is delivered to the knees at strike 2. Feedback now down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Breds with a 5-run second to take this 5-1 lead. And the pitch is going to bounce away from the catcher, Combs. Down to third base on the wild pitch will go Smiley. So another run for Harrison just 90 feet away. Just need Malachi to drive the ball somewhere. Flashing the sign to the mound, Combs to Burkhart, and the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. So with one out, J.D. Kendall returns to the bat. J.D. reached on an infield single when he came to the bat before, eventually made his way around to score in that 5-run second.
J.D. Kendall.
Burkhart checks the runner. Here's a bouncer in the hole between short and third. Coming home to score will be Smiley. RBI single by J.D. Kendall puts Harrison up 6-1. Good piece of hitting that time by the senior first baseman. Bringing Jay-Sean Lewis back to the plate.
Now batting number 3, Jay-Sean Lewis.
Jay-Sean singled up the middle his first time up. Later came around to score as well. His first pitch is outside, 4-1. Lewis had a big day when we played these guys a month ago, going 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored, a double, and a couple of walks. Over at first, Verst holding Kendall on as the next pitch is taken on the outside part of the plate for a strike. A lot of people brought their lawn chairs out to watch this game from outside their vehicles. As the next pitch is outside, 4-2. Same thing for the fans watching Harrison County's Phillies take on the Lady Cardinals of Scott County down on Shirley Field. Next pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike to count now to Lewis. The pitch count for Burkhart starting to get a little high. As this will be his 61st pitch, and we're still just in the third. Delivery is outside, ball 4. So runners on first and second for the Breds as we go back to the top of the order and Elijah Harris. But first, we may have a pitching change as Coach Verst making his way to the mound. Harris, a 2-run double his last time up. And we will have a pitching change, and coming on will be a young man who is in the bullpen, and it is going to be number 30. That is Alex No. So Alex No taking over on the mound for Burkhart. So your situation is this. We are in the bottom half of the third inning. Harrison County has already plated a run to make it a 6-1 lead. They've got runners on first and second and 1 out. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop, the new pitcher for Bishop Brossart, Alex No. No making his 7th appearance of the season, his 6th in relief. He's thrown 11 2/3 innings this season, giving up 13 hits and 3 walks while striking out 10. He's given up 10 runs, but only 4 of them have been earned. Has a record of 0-2 and a nice ERA of 2.40. being called upon to put out the fire that the Harrison County offense
Now
has
batting
started
number
into.
33, Elijah Harris.
Down at second base, Kendall will be lifted for Eli Phelps. So Phelps at second and Lewis at first with Harris at the plate. Elijah has been pretty consistent this year, as evidenced by his .404 batting average. No takes a look back, and the pitch is going to be taken for strike one. No is a sophomore. Peers in to get the sign from his catcher, Combs, and the pitch is going to be swung on and missed. Nice fastball. This count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Phelps wandering away from the second base bag, being held close by Martin. With Jay-Sean Lewis at first. And just 1 out. Next pitch is way outside. Count goes to 1 and 2. The newest top 20 came out today, and to no one's surprise, St. X still at number 1. Followed in the number 2 spot by Louisville Trinity. Here's a pitch that's going to hit Harris, so he'll get a free pass on down to first base. Only the second time this season that Elijah's been hit by a pitch, but the bases are loaded with thoroughbreds for Cliffy McIlvain. McIlvain has singled, been hit by a pitch, and scored a run.
Now batting number 25, Cliffy McIlvain.
McIlvain 0 for 1 with the bases loaded this season. Trying to break this game wide open. First pitch is tipped foul into the mid of Combs for strike 1. It looked like that McIlvain originally was going to lay off that pitch. Then at the last second decided to swing, and by that time it was way too late. Corner infielders in, middle infielders back. As the 0-1 is poked foul and out of play the right side. 0-2 the count to the Breds second baseman. McIlvain had a big game when we played these guys up in Alexandria earlier, going 3 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Already has a hit today as well. The 0-2 pitch is going to be too low for a ball. 1-2 the count to number 25. Sneaking down from third, Eli Phelps. And the pitch is going to be a little outside, evening up the count at 2-2. Breds trying to put together a big inning here in the third. They already lead 6-1. And the break-even pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So 2 outs now in the inning. The bases are still loaded for the hottest batter currently for Harrison County, Corey Vaughn. Vaughn 2 for 2 in the game today, is 13 of his last 17.
Now batting number 44, Corey Vaughn.
Vaughn's also had 6 multiple hit games in his last 7. So first pitch is cued off the end of the bat down the first base line. Picking it up will be No. Tries to tag out Corey, but he misses. And everybody is safe as Phelps comes home from third with run number 7. Harrison County up 7-1. I think I'll give that an infield single. It was a tough play for No. Very tough play for No.
Now batting number 16, Cameron White.
Cameron White at the plate now. He had a 2-run single his last time up, but swings and misses at this first pitch for strike 1. He's also had another single earlier. White with the bases loaded this year is 4 for 4. So good guy to have at the plate in this situation. Next pitch is going to be outside, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Breds with 5 in the second. 2 more so far here in the third. 1-1 pitch is a bouncer foul to the left side. Count goes to 1-2 on the Breds right fielder. At Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, we believe small businesses are an important part of this state's homegrown success. It's yet another reason why Kentucky Farm Bureau loves Kentucky. Call Harrison County Farm Bureau tomorrow at 234-4514 and ask for Dustin or Amy. Next pitch is going to be popped up into right field. Gully has a beat on it as he goes about 5 steps to his left and will haul in for out number 3. But the Breds do pick up another couple of runs in the inning. They did it by getting 3 base hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. So as we head now to the top of the 4th, your score, Harrison County 7 and Bishop Brossart 1. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County will take a 7-1 lead into the 4th inning. Your numbers through the first 3 show Bishop Brossart a run on 3 hits, no errors. They've left 2 runners stranded. Meanwhile, Harrison County 7 runs on 11 hits. They have yet to commit an error and have left 6 runners stranded. Harrison County rocking right along today offensively. Fields' first pitch to the plate is going to be cued foul and out of play off the end of the bat by Combs. Colin Combs, the catcher, a ground ball out to shortstop when he came to bat before. Number 21 wheels the bat around as Fields gets the sign from Brian Vaughn. And the 0-1 pitch is a bouncer to the left side, deep in the hole, trying to pick it up Harris, but he'll be unable to. Infield single by Colin Combs gets things started for the Mustangs here in the top half of the 4th. Brandon Beazold to the plate now. Beazold grounded out to short. We'll have a courtesy runner at first base. It will be Aiden Schultz. So Aiden Schultz running at first base for Combs. Schultz actually played against us the first time, going 0 for 2. Now Colin Duffy coming in, and that will be the end of the day for Braden Fields. So looks like Cameron White will be coming in to pitch. Meanwhile, Donovan Walker will head out into right field. So your situation is this. We are in the top half of the 4th inning. Harrison County leads 7-1. Bishop Brossart, though, has a runner on first base and nobody out. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, the new pitcher in the ball game for Harrison County will be Cameron White. Cameron pitching for the first time since he threw against Pace down in Florida back on April the 4th. White's numbers on the season, making his 4th appearance, all 4 in relief. In his previous appearances, he threw 3 innings, did not give up a hit, has walked just 1 while striking out 5. Has no record but a 0.00 earned run average. Harrison County, other defensive changes as Donovan Walker moves to right field. Cooper Slade's now at second with Eli Phelps at first. Phelps holding the runner, Aiden Schultz on. First pitch is fouled back off against the press box for strike 1. Beasold, when these two teams got together before, was 0 for 3 with a walk. So struggling against Harrison County pitching this season. White, a left-hander, peers in to get the sign from Brian Vaughn as he takes a look over to first base to Schultz. Here's a bouncer to the left side and in the hole between short and third. Slow rolling seeing eye single by Beasold. Puts runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the 4th for the Mustangs.
Number 16, Keegan Goley.
Keegan Goley will now come back to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Braden Fields goes 3 1/3 innings, or 3+ innings, I should say. Gave up just 1 run on 4 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. It's the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1 by Gully. He's also responsible for Schultz down at second base. Choking up on the bat handle about 1.5 inches at the plate is Gully as White looks back at second. And the 0-1 is just a bit outside, evening up the count at 1-1. Brian Vaughn flashes the sign to the mound. Down at second, Schultz takes his lead. The 1-1 delivery is down low for ball 2. If Harrison County wins on Friday, they would play on Saturday at 11 o'clock Cynthiana time against the winner of the game between Adair County and Warren East. Next pitch is right on the outside part of the plate. Nice pitch. Count goes even at 2-2. Then the championship game will be played at 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. I like our chances if our pitching holds up as well as they have at most times this year. Next pitch is low and inside for ball 3. Loads up the count at 3-2. Gully, the sophomore, steps back in. Still looking for his first hit against Kentucky pitching, or Harrison County pitching this year. He's 0 for 4. And White's payoff pitch is sent into center field. Jay Sean Lewis has a beat on it, makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Sam Willicke back to the plate.
Now batting number 14, Sam Willicke.
Willicke, the left fielder, singled up the middle his first time up, but then was caught stealing. In case you're just joining us, Cameron White on the mound in his first inning of relief of the starter Braden Fields. Breds up 7-1 as the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Willicke did have an RBI base hit when these two teams got together before, so he's 2 for 2 against Harrison County pitching this year. A couple of looks back at second, and the pitch is tipped foul into the mid of Brian Vaughn. And Willicke now quickly in the hole, 0-2. On deck, Alex No, who came in to pitch for Burkhart. And the 0-2 delivery is down low. Runs the count to 1-2. Out in center field, Lewis playing the batter to go the opposite way, which is probably wise. As Schultz and Beasold take their leads. Next pitch drops in there for strike 3. Another Knuplau strikeout and the first of the day for Cameron White. That buckled the knees of Wilkie to where he couldn't pull the trigger.
Alex Snow.
Alex Snow to the plate now. Pencil him in. Batting here in the 4th against Cameron White. Left-handed batter is No, who is 1 for 5 this season and swings and misses at the first offering for strike 1. No does have 3 RBIs to his credit, though. Flash the sign to the mound is Brian Vaughn. The pitch is going to hit No on the elbow. And that'll load the bases with Mustangs with 2 outs. And Derek Martin come to the plate.
Number 4, Derek Martin.
Martin, a strikeout victim, his first time up. We'll have a courtesy runner at first base is heading over there, Ben Doyle. So Aiden Schultz is at third. He's running for Combs. Beasold's at second. He singled. And now Alex Nose heads back to the dugout. Ben Doyle replacing him. First pitch is outside and high for ball 1 to Martin. A base hit here could close the gap pretty quickly. Harrison County right now up by 6. Next pitch is sent into left center field. Chasing after it will be Lewis, and the ball bounces in front of him as he and the left fielder had some communication problems. A bases clearing double by Bishop Brossart's Derek Martin has got them right back in this ball game as they now trail just 7-4. Not sure what happened out there in center, but gosh dang it, the center fielder always has the play. Think.
Now batting number 8, Logan Meyer.
Logan Meyer to the plate now as we come back to the top of the order. It's that color in my diamond boxes in my scorebook. Unreal. For one thing, Derek Martin was batting .255. First pitch to Meyer is outside low for ball 1. Meyer started out the scoring for Brossart with a home run back in the first. He's also walked in the game. He's facing White for the first time as he swings and misses at the next offering, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-4, a 3-run 4th inning for the Mustangs. 7-4 was the final score when these two teams played the first time, Harrison County winning. Next pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Harrison County with a 25-6 lead in the all-time series. It dates back to when Bishop Brossart entered the 10th region in 1998. Next pitch is outside, evening up the count at 2-2. Down at second base, Martin sneaking away from the bag. Slade trying to keep him close. And the break-even pitch is inside for ball 3. Loads up the count to the statistically second best hitter on this team. The best hitter's on deck. That's why we got to get this guy out. Payoff pitch is outside, low ball 4. That's not what I said. So at 2 outs and runners on first and second, Robbie Verst comes to the plate and he's 0 for 2. A fly ball out to left and a pop up to second.
Robbie Verst.
Verst, surprisingly, batting only, or driving in only 10 runs this year. Stands way back in the batter's box. Here's a throw back to second, but it's going to be off the glove of Slade. I'm not real sure if Martin was going to be sliding back safely anyway. Now Verst steps back in. Still looking for his first pitch from White. Couple of looks back at second, and the pitch is slapped into center field for a base hit. Rounding third and stopping there will be Martin as a nice throw from Jay Sean Lewis would have had him a dead duck at the plate. But that will load the bases with Mustangs with 2 outs
Now batting,
again
number 17,
here
Evan Moore.
in the 4th inning. As the 3rd place batter in the order, Evan Moore comes to the plate. Moore has had a fly ball out to center field and is also singled in the ball game. Has 5 home runs this year, which is tied for 6th most in the state. Now Coach Whitaker going to the mound to have a chat with Cameron White. If Moore gets a hold of what would be his 6th home run of the year, that would turn the tide back in the favor of the Mustangs. Conversation on the mound over. And we'll get back to baseball. Breds have lost 2 in a row and trying to shake out of that rut before we head down to Owensboro. First pitch to the plate is going to be taken up high for ball 1. Moore, the 9th man to come to the plate here in the 4th inning. Brossart trying to narrow the gap even more. The 1-0 is right down Main Street for strike 1. Looked as though Moore was about to swing at it, but then brought the bat back. The left-hander awaits the lefty's pitch, and it's going to be up high for ball 2. 2-1 the count to number 17, Evan Moore, a senior. From the stretch, White. The 2-1 delivery is smacked foul down the left side, but out of play. So the count will go even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Martin at 3rd, Meyer at 2nd, First over at first. And the break-even pitch is a check swing, but he did not check in time for out number 3. But 3 runs come in the inning for the Mustangs. They did it by getting 4 base hits. There were no errors, and the bases were left loaded. So as we head now to the bottom of the 4th, your score, Harrison County 7 and Bishop Brossart 4. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, we're heading down to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Harrison County dodging a bullet in the top half of this frame when maybe the best hitter on the team for Bishop Brossart, Evan Moore, struck out with the bases loaded, keeping Harrison County's lead at 3. Alex No back on the mound for Bishop Brossart for what will be his first full inning of work in relief of the starter Brandon Burkhart.
Now batting, number 32, Brian Vaughn.
Brian Vaughn, Mason Smiley, and Malachi Feeback, the first 3 to bat in the inning. First pitch is going to be low and inside for ball 1. Vaughn 0 for 2. Bounced into a double play and also popped out to the catcher. Next delivery is a chopper to the left side, gloved by Beasold. Double pumps before throwing on to first base to retire Brian for out number 1. Brian Vaughn's 6-game hitting streak, a little bit in danger. We hope he'll get back to bat at some time. Mason Smiley at the plate now.
Now batting, number 36, Mason Smiley.
Smiley doubled and scored in that 2-run third for Harrison. This first pitch is taken outside for ball one, or strike one, excuse me. Those 2 runs loom large. Harrison County up by 3 now. So the next pitch is taken outside for ball 1. Harrison County considered to be a top-tier team in the 10th region, while Bishop Brossart kind of middle of the road. Next pitch is a bouncer on a couple of hops to the shortstop, Meyer. His throw to first base. He's going to pull the first baseman off the bag for an error. Our first error of the ball game by either team. Puts a runner on first with 1 out for Malachi Feedback. Feedback, a ground ball out to third. He's also struck out in the game.
Now batting number 24, Malachi Feedback.
Over at first, Smiley being held on by Robbie Verst. As the first pitch is taken up high for ball 1. They'll appeal, but it's rather obvious that Feedback did not swing through. 1-0 the count to him. Center fielder Evan Moore drawing in. Now going to second base on a steal attempt is Mason Smiley. He's in there safely. That one was really stolen on the pitcher as Alex No didn't pay much attention to Smiley. Now allowed Mason to get in there easily. 2-0 the count on the batter. Next pitch to Feedback is going to be down low for ball 3. Feedback has walked 14 times this season. That's second most on the team. And now Coach Whitaker having some words of wisdom with Malachi. Seven to 4 your score. 3 runs in the top half of this inning by Bishop Brossart narrowed the gap, which at one time was 6 runs at 7-1. A look back at second. And the 2-1 pitch is smoked into right field for a base hit. Coming around third and heading home is Smiley. The throw to the plate will be cut off. And on the throw, going on down to second base on a bad pickoff or relay throw by the second baseman allows Feedback to get to second. But an RBI base hit by Feedback puts Harrison County back up by 4, 8-4. Good piece of hit that time by the senior.
Now batting number 41, Eli Phelps.
Eli Phelps will bat for Kendall. Eli came in defensively in the last half inning. Now getting a chance to bat here in the 4th. First pitch is down low for ball 1. Sounds like good things are happening down on Shirley Field. There's a lot of cheering by what I hope are Harrison County fans and not Scott County people. Phelps wheels the bat around. And the next pitch is hit into right field for another base hit. This ball now gets past the right fielder, and coming home to score will be Feedback, and into second base, and tagged out was Phelps for the second out of the inning, trying to stretch a single into a double, but a very nice defensive play by Keegan Gully downs him at second base for the second out of the inning. But another run does score, so the Breds with 5 in the second and 2 runs each in both the third and here in the 4th have given the Thoroughbreds a 9-4 lead. Jay Sean Lewis at the plate. He singled and walked and scored a run. So first pitch is down low for a ball. Knupplaw understands that your situation is more than just a lawsuit or legal problem. It's your life. Visit knupplaw.com to find out how Brian can help you out. Here's a pitch that's going to be down low for ball 2. Lewis stands back in and knows 2-0 delivery is going to stay high for ball 3. I'm going to imagine that Lewis will be taking all the way on this next pitch. No, working quickly, winds and fires the 3-0. It's taken all the way right down the middle for strike 1. 3-1 the count. As we mentioned, Harrison County's Phillies taking on Scott County on the field below us. So the next pitch is taken at the knees for a strike. Loads up the count at 3-2. It's been an inning of twos, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. So the next pitch is a bouncer to first. Room service hop to first. He'll outrace Lewis to the bag for out number 3. But 2 runs come in the inning for Harrison County. It came by way of 2 base hits. There were 2 errors, but nobody was left on base. We're heading now to the top of the 5th with your score. Harrison County 9 and Bishop Brossart 4. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County adds a couple of runs to make their lead a little more comfortable at 9-4, but still lots of baseball to be played as we're only in the 5th. For Bishop Brossart through the first 4 runs, 7 hits. They have committed a couple of errors and left 5 runners stranded. Meanwhile, Harrison County 9 runs on 13 hits, no errors. They've left 6. At the plate, batting for the Mustangs is Colin Combs. A 1-0 count on him. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Next pitch is popped up behind us. This count goes even at 1-1. Breds are going to be taking off on Thursday to go down to Owensboro. Stay a couple of nights, win or lose. Next pitch is outside as the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Combs wheels the bat around as Brian Vaughn sends a sign out to Cameron, and the next pitch is going to be up high and inside for ball 3. Cameron White on the mound in relief for the starter, Braden Fields. This is White's first full inning of work. 3-1 delivery is up high, ball 4. So with 1 on and nobody out, Brandon Beazold comes back to the plate. We'll have a courtesy runner at first. That's Aiden Schultz. So Schultz running for Combs at first. Schultz came around to score in that 3-run 4th inning, which temporarily got the Mustangs back to within 3, but they now trail by 5. Next pitch is going to be inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Beazold. Over at first base, Phelps holding the runner Schultz on. Now a throw back over to first, but not in time. Schultz has not stolen a base this season. And now would be kind of a weird time to start. Going to have some action in the Breds bullpen as Bryson Tucker going down to take some warm-up pitches, so we'll probably see him later. So the next pitch is taken for a strike, evening up the count at 1-1. Good things happening up here. I think good things happening down on Shirley Field as well for the Phillies. There's a pop fly into shallow left. Feedback calling everybody out as he approaches the left field line and makes the grab in fair territory for out number 1. Coming to the plate now, Keegan Gully.
Number 16, Keegan Gully.
Gully's struck out. He's also had a fly ball out to center field. Gully is a sophomore. Brossart 10-8, Harrison County 14-6. And the first pitch is lob foul down to the softball field for strike one. Farm Credit Mid-America offers short-term loans that handle the present so you can focus on the future. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more about it. 0-1 pitch is popped up and out of play behind us. This count goes to 0-2. UK Batcats dropped one space in the college poll this week after losing 2 out of 3 to LSU. They're now number 13 in the nation at 28-7, taking on Xavier University today. That being played at Kentucky Proud Park as the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike three. Another Knuplau strikeout for Cameron White. So at 2 outs, and that runner is still at first.
Sam Willicke.
Sam Willicke to the plate. Sam had a single in the second and is also struck out. Throw to first, not in time. This coming weekend at Kentucky Proud Park, the Batcats will host Texas A&M. The Aggies unrated but have a record of 22-14. But first things first, got to beat the Musketeers tonight. First pitch is outside, 4-1. A single run in the first and 3 more in the fourth is how Bishop Brossart has sprinkled its runs in the game. So the next pitch is stroked off the glove of Mason Smiley for a rope single that keeps the Mustangs alive here in the top of the 5th inning. Now Alex No returns to the plate. No was hit by a pitch when he came to bat before.
Alex No.
No, a left-handed batter facing the left-handed throwing White. And the first pitch is going to be up high and outside for ball one. Texas A&M also 22-14 on the year. A look back at second. And the 1-0 to the plate. It's going to be sent foul behind us. This count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Breds trying to pick up their 15th win of the year and have some positive momentum going into that tournament this weekend. Here's a throw to first, and they got him picked off. The daylight play that time as Eli Phelps was playing behind the runner at first base, and he wandered too far away from the bag, and a really nice pickoff throw by Cameron White to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. There was 1 man left. As we head now to the bottom of the 5th, your score remains Harrison County 9 and Bishop Brossart 4. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. All righty, back here at the Hilltop, Harrison County enjoying a 5-run lead, 9-4 over Bishop Brossart. Alex No back on the mound for what will be his second full inning of work and relief of the starter Brandon Burkhart. He'll be facing the top of the order for the Thoroughbreds, Elijah Harris, Cliffy McIlvain, and Corey Vaughn.
Now batting number 33, Elijah Harris.
Harris, after grounding out to short to start the game, has had a 2-run double and been hit by a pitch. First delivery to him is up high for ball 1. The wind and the 1-0 is down low for ball 2. I'm laughing at you. Laura's here, and it's almost like watching Mission Impossible. I almost told her, don't cross the red wire. Don't cross the red wire. Next pitch is fouled straight back for a strike. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo. Okay. The wind and the next pitch is taken inside for ball 3. 3-1 the count to lead off batter for the Breds. When you were dropping the wire down there, it's almost like you were ice fishing. You see it reeling it in. Nose 3-1 delivery is down low, ball 4. So a leadoff walk issue to Harris as he reaches base for the 3rd time in the ball game. That'll bring Bodie Muth to the plate. Bodie will be batting for McIlvain. So put Bodie in there.
Now batting number 37, Bodie Muth.
Muth batting .364 on the year in limited action, 4 out of 11. Has a couple of runs scored and a couple of RBIs as well. Over at first base, Robbie Verst will be holding Harris on. Now they may have Harris picked off. The throw to second base will not be in time. For whatever reason, the first baseman, Robbie Verst, had trouble getting the ball out of the glove, and by the time he did, it was way too late. So a stolen base for Harris, his first of the game, and his team leading 19th of the season. Next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Say we'll see, well, we may see several pinch hitters. Breds up by 5. Next pitch to Muth is on the inside part of the plate for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Down at second base, Harris wanders away from the bag, being held on by Martin. And the 0-2 pitch is swung on, hit high in the air. Moore tracking it, though, and he will have enough room to make the play. Tagging at second is Harris, and he'll get into third base safely. So the fly ball out was not entirely for naught. As Corey Vaughn returns to the plate. Corey continues his tear. He's 3 for 3 tonight with a couple of RBIs and a run scored.
44, Corey Vaughn.
Corey is now 14 of his last 18 plate appearances. Infield draws in. Pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Boy, if Corey can keep this hot hitting up, we're going to beat some real good teams this weekend. Next pitch is slammed into left field. He did it again. Coming home to score will be Harris. Another RBI single for Corey Vaughn. Makes the score 10-4. Reds have scored in every inning since that scoreless first. Over right field. With those 3 RBIs, Vaughn now has 25, which is co-leader on the team with the man at the plate. Cameron White sees the first pitch go by for ball 1. Cameron had a 2-run single back in the second. Had a regular single in the first and a fly ball out to right. Next pitch is inside for ball 2. White looks down to third base coach feedback before standing back in. No takes a look at the runner. And the pitch to the plate is outside. It's going to squeeze past the catcher, though. And on down to second base will go Corey Vaughn on the pass ball. Three and 0 the count to White. And a throw back to second, but scampering back in plenty of time was Corey Vaughn. 5 in the second, 2 each in both the third and fourth innings, and a single run so far here in the fifth for the Breds. That's how we've got to 10. Next pitch is going to be on the outside corner, but once again it pops out of Combs' mitt for another pass ball. And on down to third base goes Corey Vaughn. And now Coach Verst making a slow stroll to the mound as this game is about to get away from him. 6 runs, not impossible to catch up from with 2 more innings left, but another run across the plate, and psychologically 11-4 is pretty hefty comeback to try to make. Coach has his say with his battery and infield, and none of them look happy as they walk or jog back to their regular positions. It's been a long day for Mustang fans. Harrison taking a 5-1 lead at the end of 2. And right now lead by 6. Nose pitch is sent high and hard, but foul, and out of play to the left side. So that'll load up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sun makes maybe its final appearance of the day. And the payoff pitch is fouled off. Count remains 3-2. Well, you've seen Jake from State Farm on TV. Now it's time to see Joe from State Farm in Cynthiana. Get a new quote by calling Joe Cochran at 234-3813. Here's a bouncer to the left side, gloved by the shortstop Meyer. He'll throw on to first base and will be in time to retire Cameron White. However, on the ground ball, coming home to score was Corey Vaughn to increase Harrison County's lead now to 11-4.
Now
Give the
batting
sacrifice
number 32,
to White.
Brian Vaughn.
First pitch to the plate to Brian Vaughn is taken up high for ball 1. Brian's due. He's 0 for 3. The wind and the next pitch is taken low and outside for ball 2. Brian trying to keep alive a 6-game hitting streak. Nose 2-0 to the plate is in the dirt for ball 3. 2 outs in the inning. 2 runs in on just 1 base hit. No. Fires the 3-0 to the plate. It's in the strike zone. 3-1 the count to the sophomore catcher. 3-1 pitch is a bouncer to the left side again. Meyer can't make the play, though, as it bounces up and hits him in the chest. That's the 3rd error of the ball game committed by the Mustang defense, as I think they may have lost their concentration a bit. And now coming to the plate, Jacob Craycraft batting for Smiley.
Now batting number 13, Jacob Craycraft.
Craycraft here in the 5th. Jacob on the year is batting an even .400. 4 out of 10. Has 4 RBIs. Had a big hit when these two teams got together the first time. His team was leading just 5-4 in the 7th, and Jacob had a 2-run single to give us the insurance cushion we need to win that game 7-4 as the first pitch is swung on for strike 1. Craycraft wheels the bat around. It's over at first base. Brian Vaughn takes his lead. Now the ball gets past. Actually, it's Braxton Grubb, who will move on down to second base on the wild pitch. So another runner in scoring position for the Breds for Craycraft. Jacob 1 for 3 this season with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And the delivery is in the dirt. Nice stop by Combs this time. Count goes to 2-1 to Craycraft. Craycraft wheels the batter around as No takes a look back at second, and the 2-1 to the plate is going to be up high again for ball 3. A lot of deuces on the scoreboard. 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. Next pitch is down low for ball 4. So with 2 out and 2 on, Malachi Feeback returns to the plate. He had an RBI single to right his last time up and eventually came around to score. He's also struck out and grounded out to third.
Malachi Feeback.
No's first pitch is up high for ball 1. Well, one thing we certainly didn't see yesterday was the American flag hanging limp, as it was gusty and windy all game long up in Claryville. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. Feeback, the 7th batter to bat here in the inning. Breds batted around in the second, sent 8 batters to the plate in the third. Flashing the sign to the mound, Combs to No. And the pitch is going to be popped up on the right side of the infield. No calling for it, and will make the grab for out number 3. But 2 more runs come across the plate for the Thoroughbreds. They did it by way of 1 base hit. There was 1 error, and there were 2 men left on base. We're heading now to the top half of the 6th inning with your score: Harrison County 11 and Bishop Brossart 4. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Alrighty, back here on the hilltop, we have put 5 innings in the books. Harrison County leads by a score of 11-4. Your numbers show Brossart 4 runs, 8 hits. They have now committed 3 errors and left 7 runners stranded. Harrison County 11 runs on 14 hits. Both those numbers are good. No errors and 8 left aboard. New pitcher on the mound for Harrison County, Bryson Tucker. Tucker pitching for the first time since he threw last Tuesday, a week ago exactly, against Pendleton County, making his 6th appearance, all 6 of which have come in relief. He's facing Alex No, who was at the plate when Sam Willicke was picked off last inning. First pitch down low for ball 1. Tucker has thrown 5 in the 3rd innings, giving up 4 hits and 7 walks while striking out 7. He's given up 3 runs, 2 of which have been earned. So the next pitch is bounced foul to the right side. Tucker on the year has no record, but a really nice ERA of 2.63, and opposing batters are hitting just 200 against him. No stands in with a 1-1 count on him. Tucker gets the sign from Brian Vaughn. And the pitch is hit into right field, and chasing after Walker will not have a chance to catch up with it. Goes all the way to the fence. No, on his horse. Nobody covering second, so he's in there standing with the leadoff double here in the 6th. For Alex No, his first extra base hit of the season. Derek Martin to the plate now. Martin had a 3-run double back in the 4th. He's also struck out, so responsible for 3 of the 4 runs on the scoreboard for his team. A look back at second by Tucker. And the pitch is going to be down low for a ball. Also, Boston Reynolds is at second base defensively. Mark him down there. As Martin awaits the next pitch. And a check swing. Did he check in time? No, he did not. And is very frustrated with himself. This count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Craycraft is at third. And the lights have been turned on. Next pitch is fouled off to the right side now to play. 1-2 now the count to Martin. Well, do you have a big group to feed? Well, I'm glad you answered that first question. I don't think anybody ever has. I'll just stop there. You can't beat the deal on a Beast Pizza from Snappy Tomato. Call 235-7627 right now. That's 235.
Snap!
All right, good and strong. It's like you're the leader of the stat people. That's a new one for the Webster's Dictionary. Stat mob. Looking back at second by Tucker. And the pitch is going to stay high as the count evens up at 2-2. Now, stat alum. There you go. Shadow of the third base dugout, about halfway across the infield to the mound now as the next pitch is fouled off of the press box. Count remains even at 2-2. A runner on second and nobody out. Harrison up 11-4 here in the top of the 6th. Martin awaits. Tucker's next pitch is a rope that's fielded by Harris. Now they've got No hung up in between second and third. The throw to Reynolds is in time to catch No trying to dive back into the bag. Not sure exactly what Alex No was thinking that time, but the ball was obviously going to be caught by Harris at short, and yet he still wandered away from the second base bag. So officially in your scorebook, if you're scoring with us at home, a fielder's choice. Out goes 6-4. Back to the top of the order now, and Logan Meyer. Meyer had a home run way back in the top of the first. He's walked twice since that time. First pitch is going to be taken at the letters for a strike over at first base. Now that second base is open, Martin being held on by Phelps. Look over there by Tucker. And the pitch is going to stay high, evening up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Check of the runner, and the pitch to the plate is going to be low and outside. Nice snag by Brian Vaughn. This count goes to 2-1. We've been bragging on Brian's offense over the last week, basically. But it just seems like maybe coincidentally his defense has gotten so much better in that same time frame, just building confidence. Next pitch is up high and inside as the count goes to 3-1. Sophomore, one of the hardest workers on the team. In fact, all 3 of the Vaughn boys hard workers. From the stretch, Tucker. The pitch to the plate is on the inside corner. Nice pitch for strike 2. Meyer was backing out of it to tell you how good a curveball it was. Count goes full at 3-2. Tucker checks the runner. The payoff is bounced foul at the plate. So Meyer is staying alive. Not surprisingly, as we said, Meyer batting almost 300 coming into the game. Awaits the next delivery to him from Tucker. And the payoff again is going to be taken up high from all 4. So that'll put runners at first and second. The third walk issue to Meyer in the game. Coming into the contest, Meyer had walked just 5 times all year. Then he gets 3 today. Go figure. Robbie Verst at the plate now. He's 1 for 3. Singled his last time up to center field in the 4th. He's also had a fly ball to left and a pop up to second. First pitch to him here is going to be taken inside. 4-1. Breds trying to wrap this game up, but the Mustangs just won't go away. Next pitch is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Tucker, the third pitcher on the mound today for the Breds. Braden Fields went the first 3+. then gave way to Cameron White, who pitched 2 innings. And now Bryson's turn. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. Phelps will catch it, tag the first base bag for the out, as both runners move up 90 feet, but there are now 2 outs in the inning
Now
for
batting
Evan
number
Moore.
17, Evan Moore.
As we mentioned before, Moore with 5 home runs this season. That's tied for the 6th most in the state. If he crunches one, it'll make it a whole different ball game again. So Tucker's got to be careful. First pitch is going to stay, going to call a strike at the letters. Moore a single in the first. He had a fly ball out to center in the third and a strikeout as well. Tucker checks the runners, and the pitch is a bouncing ball foul in front of the Harrison County dugout. This count goes no balls and 2 strikes. Moore stands back in, awaits the next delivery to him. And the 0-2 is a little high. 4-1. Out the base of the bank in left field, Malachi Feeback. And the pitch is going to stay outside again, evening up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Get him here, Bryson.
Wind starting to pick up just a little bit, blowing out towards center field. And the break-even pitch is outside. This count goes full at 3-2. Down at third base, Martin takes his lead, as does Meyer at second. Tucker trying to put another 0 on the scoreboard, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Another Canuplaw strikeout. This one the first for Tucker. No runs. There was 1 base hit, no errors, and 2 left. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, your score, Harrison County 11 and Bishop Brossart 4. You're listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports. Back here at the Hilltop, the new pitcher in the ball game will be Ben Doyle for Bishop Brossart. He'll be the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Mustangs. He'll be facing Phelps, Lewis, and Harris, unless we have some pinch hitters. Let's see, Doyle on the season is making his first appearance. So we'll see what the Breds can do against him. Phelps a single his first time up. Breds and Paducah Tillman, maybe not surprisingly, have never played each other in baseball. But we're a little far away from each other, which makes a little sense. Although we won the 98 championship down at their home field. But they weren't playing in that particular tournament. Phelps, who wears number 41 on the back of his jersey, will wait until Colin Combs gets back after discussing what the signs are with his new pitcher, Ben Doyle.
Eli Phelps.
So each team has thrown 3 pitchers at the other. Softball game still going on at Shirley Field. Harrison County and Scott County playing each other. And the pitch to Phelps is up high for ball 1. This game just now approaching 2 hours old. 1-0 delivery is popped up, foul and out of play over the third base dugout. Count goes to 1-1. Oh, I never have gotten back to the top 20. I think I gave you the first 2 about 3 innings ago, and that was about it. Next pitch to Phelps is lined into left field for a base hit. Nice shot that time by Eli, his second base hit of the day. So with 1 on and nobody out, we'll have a pinch hitter as coming to the plate will be Sean Vaughn.
15, Sean Vaughn.
So Sean Vaughn in the 6th will be batting in Lewis's spot. Over at first, Phelps being held on by Robbie Verst, and the pitch is going to be an excuse me swing foul by Sean Vaughn. Sean on the season is 0 for 1 officially, although he has been hit by a pitch twice. Phelps wanders away from the first base bag. And Doyle's pitch is going to be low and outside for a ball. St. X 1, Trinity 2. Lexington Catholic, who Harrison County will play next Monday here on the Hilltop, is number 3 this week, with Boyd County, the Lions, at number 4. And the Sarah Spartans, they're ranked 5th, followed by McCracken County at number 6. His next pitch is taken for a strike. DuPont Manual, the 7th place team in the rankings this week. They're followed by Dunbar. From the stretch, Doyle's next pitch is fouled out of play. 1-2 remains the count. Madison Central, who Harrison County lost to on Saturday 14-7, they're in the top 10 at number 9, with the Cardinals of Taylor County at number 10. Connor Cougars, supposedly the best team in Northern Kentucky, they're at number 11 as the next pitch is fouled off the stretch box. A couple of 2-strike foul balls now. Whitley County, they're at number 12. DeSales, who we'll see down at the Class 2A state tournament, they're at number 13. With Tate's Creek coming in at number 14, closely followed in 15th place by Frederick Douglass. So baseball very strong at the high school level in Lexington this year. Here's a snap throw down to first, not in time after the count evens up at 2-2. Paducah Tillman, who Harrison County will play on Friday, is at number 16 again this week, followed by number 17, Woodford County. Ballard, they're at number 18 as another bouncing ball goes in the hole between short and third. So nice piece of hitting that time by Sean Vaughn. Puts runners at first and second. Now Braxton Grubb will bat.
Now batting number 9, Braxton Grubb.
Put Grubb in Harris's spot here in the 6th. Give you Grubb's numbers after this first pitch to him, which is going to be swung on and missed for strike 1. Grubb on the season, batting .241 on 7 of 29. Has a double, a homer, and 8 RBIs. Next pitch is taken outside and high as the count goes even at 1-1. Let's see, Ballard at 18. The Corbin Redhounds, they're at number 19. And the Eastern Eagles from region number 7 will round out your top 20. Next pitch is outside. This count goes 2-1. As we mentioned before, the University of Kentucky Wildcats baseball team dropping 1 spot to number 13 in the rankings this week. Taking on Xavier tonight up in Lexington. 2-1 pitch is going to stay high to Grubb. This count goes to 3-1. Junior awaits the next pitch. And the 3-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2. 2 on, nobody out for the Breds here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So they maybe try to end this game early. We just need 3 runs. And the payoff pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike 3. So the first out is recorded in the inning, and Boston Reynolds
Now
will come to the
batting
plate.
number 20, Boston Reynolds.
Boston has no walk-up music. Play anything by Boston. More than a feeling. Next pitch is outside. Well, it'll be appropriate. 4-1. Yeah. Place it by Donovan. Oh. That's right. Next pitch is a little outside. That'll run the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Reynolds taps the plate with his bat as he stands in there. Making his first plate appearance of the season. Well, second plate appearance. He walked his other time. Next pitch is up high. This count goes to 3-0.
Hang in there. Take a breath. You got this.
Reynolds levels the bat and will probably be taking on this 3-0 delivery, but we'll see. And he's swinging away and fouling off for strike 1. Coach Fee back at third. Coach Harris at first. Runners at first and second. And the 3-1 to Reynolds is bounced back up the middle and into center field for a seeing eye base hit. The other runners will go station to station, but you couldn't have thrown that ball any better to be equidistant between the fielders
Now
to where it
batting
rolled
number 22,
into the
Donovan
outfield.
Walker.
So bases loaded with thoroughbreds for Walker. Batting Corey Vaughn's spot here in the 6th. First pitch is going to be on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Let's see. Walker is 0 for 2 this season with the bases loaded. Let's make it 1 for 3. Next pitch is launched into right field, coming on hard gully, and it'll drop in front of him for a base hit. Coming home to score will be Phelps as Harrison County takes a 12-4 lead on the RBI single by Donovan Walker. Just a little looper that the right fielder was playing too far back on and just couldn't race in to make the play on that dying quail.
Now batting number 18, Jacob Craycraft.
Jacob Craycraft, the other Jacob Craycraft, at the plate. We'll have to do something. We can't keep calling him the other Jacob Craycraft. That's rude. I'd rather call him Jacob Craycraft number 18 or something like that. Runners take their leads. Base is still loaded. And here's a bouncer to the left side. And off the glove of the shortstop, Logan Meyer. Coming home to score will be Reynolds. He'll slide in there safely. So a 2-run error committed by the shortstop, Logan Meyer, allows 3 runs to score, and that will be the ball game. Harrison County wins by a final score of 14-4. The Breds on the year improved to 15-6 as we head to Owensboro. Meanwhile, Bishop Brossart sees their record fall to 10-9. Good day for the Breds bats, which was what the coach has been talking about the last couple of days. And today our bats responded, getting 14 runs while also supplying 18 hits. So hopefully we'll have that kind of firepower against the Blue Tornado of Paducah-Tillman in the first round of the Class 2A tournament coming up this weekend. We invite you to stay tuned now for our post-game show. We'll go over all the scoring and stats, have a chat with a member of the Harrison County coaching staff, as well as name our Judy Construction Company player of the game. All that coming up after this timeout. But once again, your final score from here on the hilltop at Mack Whitaker Field. In just 6 innings, Harrison County 14 and Bishop Brossart 4. You've been listening to Thoroughbred Baseball on WCYN Sports.